All right, the question. Pastor Dowell, what do you think about the Apostle Paul? Is he a false apostle? First of all, I think that is a stupid, idiotic, nonsensical, unlearned statement. And I'll tell you the reason why. All right, we all believe that Shimon Kefa, that is the emissary commonly called Peter, or the Apostle Peter. We all believe him, don't we? Sure we do. We believe Peter. All right? It's remarkable and amazing to me how that in this day, in this age of knowledge where people are wrestling the scriptures and wrestling everything today, just in order. You know, somebody has always got to have something, or they look for something that they can say something different than somebody else. I think it's a contentious spirit. I think it's an unlearned spirit. I think it's an ignorant spirit. And I'll tell you the reason why. You know, the Bible teaches that there should be no divisions among us. And of course, when I say us, I'm talking about those of us who are part of Straightway, who you say you are affiliated or part of or whatever, because it's obvious that if you preach or teach something contrary to what we're preaching and teaching, there's going to be a division. So the book says, let there be no divisions among you. And it goes on to tell us that we should all speak the same thing. We can't all be speaking the same thing if somebody's going around believing that the Apostle Paul is a false apostle, which is, again, nonsensical. It's idiotic. It's stupid. And I'll tell you where I get that from. I get it from Peter himself, who knew Paul. Peter said that Paul, and the reason why people have trouble with him is, he said, because they that are unstable and unlearned, they wrest the scriptures to their own destruction. And, you know, also the other scriptures to their own destruction. In other words, he said that Paul, he writes things that is hard to be understood. I'm trying to break this thing down and make it simple as possible. He says Paul writes things that is hard to be understood, which they that are unstable and unlearned wrestle the scriptures, as they also do the others to their own destruction. So these people who coming up calling Paul and a false apostle stuff, no, Paul had a writing style, a way of communicating, but he was spot on in the law. It's just that these people don't understand Paul, they don't understand the law, they just don't get it. And for these people, 2,000 years later, all of a sudden come up on themselves, they read a little bit of something, they get their own little private revelation because they get vainly puffed up in the spirit of their little minds and stuff. They're there to try to deceive the hearts of the simple. That's what the book says. Which, if you only had one counselor among 1,000, just one, if you only listen to one wise man among 1,000, you wouldn't be tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine. Because if you notice, social media network is giving everybody who out there who think that they're some type of theologian a platform to just get out here and spew everything. And that's the reason why I warn people not to eat off other tables, because all it's going to do is bring confusion to you. Let's go ahead and hit it just like Christ said. By their fruits you shall know them. Now, you can, you know, people can get out there and bump their gums all day long. They can. And they can bite off on this and bite off on that all day long. But the bottom line is that, you know, Christ had a hallmark statement that he was making. I'm going to say the same thing because I believe in Christ. Jesus said, if you cannot believe me for the words that I am speaking to you, then believe me for the very work's sake, because they testify of me. I'm going to say the same thing because I'm following Christ. If you can't believe what I'm saying, especially when I'm preaching and teaching about things concerning doctrine, then look at the works. The works that I am doing in the ministry of Straightway as the face